Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Sir Thomas More, and we get to hear from Sir Thomas More again today in Act 2, Scene 4, which is the scene where he logics a bunch of Londoners out of a riot. There's great big riots happening, and Shrewsbury and Surrey and More come to talk to the citizens, and the citizens decide after a little while that they're actually going to listen to More, and he logics them out of their riot by saying things along the lines of, the king is God's vessel, God's instrument, so if you're rising up against the king, you're rising up against God. And also, the king is totally within his rights to banish you, but knowing how you treat foreigners, imagine the reception that you'll receive when you are foreigners somewhere else, and all of this sort of thing. So, and the Londoners actually agree. Dal Williamson and Betts and all of those people are like, yeah, actually that makes sense. And he convinces them to turn themselves in and says that he will plead for clemency on their behalf to the king if they just stop this whole rioting deal. And they're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's a good idea. So the Earl of Surrey goes off to try to quell any riot, like branches or little sparks of riot that might be happening elsewhere in the city. And the Earl of Shrewsbury goes off Surrey takes a whole bunch of people to the various prisons where they're going to be held until their trials, where More is going to plead on their behalf. Shrewsbury goes to quell some of these little riot things, but also to let the king know that Sir Thomas More was able to, sort of squash everything. So there's a little moment, the Lord Mayor's like, you did what you did here was really a great thing that you did, so thank you for your words. And Sir Thomas More says, my lord and brethren, what I here have spoke, my country's love, and next the city's care, enjoined me to, which, since it thus prevails, think God hath made weak More his instrument to thwart sedition's violent intent. I think 'twere best, my lord, some 2 hours hence we meet at the Guildhall, and there determine that through every ward the watch be clad in armour, but especially proud that at the city gates selected men, substantial citizens, do ward tonight for fear of further mischief. So he's being a little bit humble and a little bit practical here. What he's saying is, I love my king, I love my country, I love my God, so just what I just said and what I was just able to do is because God enabled me to do it, since I'm such a faithful citizen, or along those lines. But then he gets to the practical bit, saying we need to make sure that there are no more little bursts of riot that happen throughout the night, so we need to set watch at the various gates and be prepared for that. But then Shrewsbury comes back in and he's like, the king was so impressed with what you just said that I'm supposed to knight you right now. Boop, boop. You are now Sir Thomas More. And Sir Thomas More is like, whoa, this is amazing. Cool. Thanks so much. And Shrewsbury's like, oh, even more. He wants you to sit on his privy council, so you need to get to court now. And Sir Thomas More is like, oh, I guess I'd better go. And then Crofts comes in and says, actually, the king needs documentation of this whole riot thing entered now, so let's go. And Sir Thomas More is like, okay, let's go. Sorry, bye guys, best of luck to you. I'm off to court. Sorry, gotta run. And that's the end of Act 2, Scene 4. So it was an interesting build through Act 1 and Act 2 to this riot. And I know in a lot of other Shakespearean histories we have wars, we have the battle scenes. We did have these sort of quick little scenes with the riot in a couple different places of the riot, going back and forth between, this is what they're planning to do and this is what we're planning to do with that. Instead of having an actual war, we had a riot in this play, but it was very quickly quelled just by the smooth talking of Sir Thomas More. And that sets him up nicely for the things that are going to come and positions him that he was the, sort of by the book, follow the rules, do the things the way they're supposed to be done kind of guy. So it's a nice way for us to get to know him and see him in action. But we have plenty of action left to go. because we just finished Act 2, Scene 4. And there's one more scene in Act 2, and then there's 3 more acts after that. So come on back tomorrow for more, where we figure out where all of this is going to go. I'll see you then. Mwah.